Hey guys, so today I was going to start out my review on the Natasha Denona Gold Palette. So I'm going to be trying this on like 3 different separate days and filming each segment so I can get a full, well-rounded review on this. But here is what it looks like on the inside. You get your nice mirror as always, and then you get a very nice, beautiful range of colors. Obviously very gold toned, but you get some like green and blue shades. These transition shades tend to be, they look pretty similar, but I guess just it varies in the tone and slightly the depth. But I will have to try them out on the eyes just to see how they differ. So I think what I'm going to do first is swatch all of these. Okay, so first we have Lime Chrome, which is a duochrome shadow. Next we have Python, which is a cream powder shadow. I don't know if this is actually a cream, but it certainly feels like one. It's very, very creamy. Next we have Sparks, which is a chroma crystal. So this is more of a topper shade. And then we have Aria, which is a creamy matte. Next we have Cava, which is again a chroma crystal. So this is more of a topper shade. And then we have Aurora, which is a creamy metallic. Then we have Dijon, which is a creamy matte. Then we have Aurum, which is a metallic. Next we have Log, which is a creamy matte. Then we have Varis, which is a metallic. Then we have Brass, which is a metallic. And Sandstone, which is a creamy matte. Next we have Alchemist, which is a metallic, and then Teak, which is a creamy matte, and lastly we have Aurum, which is a cream powder. So here are all of the shades in the Natasha Denona Gold Palette. I feel like they all swatched really well, even the mattes. This blue is very impressive, very, very creamy, has a matte finish. And I really, really like this color. So you can kind of see the difference in the tones of the browns when you have them all swatched. So this one versus this one right here, they look very similar in the palette, but this one is more warm toned, whereas this one is more cool toned and slightly lighter. And then these two look very different swatched versus on the palette. This one is much deeper and cooler toned versus this one. So here is the palette after I swatched them. Like this shade right here is kind of like flaky, so I would definitely use this one with a finger if you're gonna put this one on. And this one is a tiny bit flaky as well, but this one's the most flaky. So again, I would be careful with this one, just use very light pressure. So for day 1, I'm going to do a look on my eyes, and then I'm going to do 2 additional looks on different days and tell you what I think about the palette after I have gone through all those days, just to see how it wears and everything, so I can get a full rounded review on this. So let's get into day 1.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Okay, so here is the completed look for day 1 of trying this palette. I ended up using these 3 matte shades right here, and then this gold on the lid, and this chroma crystal topper. I feel like this really made the lid shade pop. It just added a lot more sparkle and dimension to it, so I really like the chroma crystals. And this lid shade went on really nicely with my finger. I always tend to use metallic shades with my finger just to get the best application and color payoff. And all 3 of the mattes blended really nicely. I feel like it was very apparent and obvious the difference in these 2 mattes once they were on the eyes. One is definitely a lot more deeper and warmer than the other one, so I feel like they're not too similar. So I ended up using 5 shades out of the palette today. So first impressions so far on the first day, I would say I really like it so far. Again, this is more of a simple look, which you can get with a lot of other palettes, but I'm going to try to use all the rest of the shades in the palette by the end of this. And I really like this look. I think it blended really nicely. I think the pigmentation is nice. I really like the chroma crystal over top. I feel like that gave it a step up. And we'll see what the other 2 days have in store. So I'll see you then. Okay guys, so let's do day 2 with the Natasha Denona Gold Palette. I'm just winging it today. I'm not sure really what I want to do. So we'll find out.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Okay, so here is the completed look for day 2 with the Natasha Denona Gold Palette. And I ended up using both of the blue shades, this mustard shade and this transition shade, as well as this white color. And this dark blue is really like the formula says it is. It's more of like a cream to powder shadow. So it's not the most blendable, so I feel like this would be better as an overall lid shade. But you can blend it out. It just takes a little bit more work. And this again is more of a topper shade. It ended up giving like a nice pretty shine on top of this metallic blue, just to give it an extra pop. I really like these. It's like a transformer. And this mustard color is super pretty. I really like that one. And this is just a little bit more warmer than this transition shade, whereas this is more of a cooler tone. So overall, I really like how it worked today, and I will see you guys on day 3. Okay guys, so it's a hair change, I guess, for today's final look with the Natasha Denona Gold Palette. So we're just winging it. Let's see what we come up with.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Okay guys, so here is the completed look for day 3. I ended up doing like a full cut crease and then just layering on the metallics that I haven't used yet. So I ended up using all 3 of these mattes and this one just to build up a base. I feel like these are very good colors for that, no matter what look you're really going for. This one is more warm than this one. And then I ended up going in with this metallic, these 2, and then this one on the inner corner. So I think I did use all of the shades in the palette. There are a few specific shades that I would say have a lot of fallout, such as this one and then these 2 toppers, just because they're more of like a glitter formula kind of. So those ones have more fallout. And then just in the pan, the mattes have a lot of fallout as well, not when you're blending them on the eyes though. So there's all that, and I really do like this palette now that I've been using it for a few days. And it wears really nicely, it lasts all day. I haven't had it fade at all throughout the day, so I think it sticks around a long time. I do like the packaging. I know some people think it's kind of cheap, but I mean, it looks really nice and it feels really nice, and I don't know. I feel like the thing I like least about the packaging is just this little thing. How hard is it to put the names on the packaging? I don't want to rip this out because I want to know the names. So yeah, just put the names on the palette. I don't know. But I do really like all of these shades. I feel like you can get a really nice look. These 2 are definitely more green. This is more of like a greenish gold, and this is obviously like a duochrome red to green. I feel like that's really, really pretty. And I feel like all the metallics apply really well, so I really like those. And then the mattes are just really creamy and buttery and blend so nicely. So for whether it's worth it or not, I don't feel like these colors are super unique enough to justify this high of a price tag, honestly. I feel like Natasha Denona could cut her prices in half and still have a super expensive palette that they're definitely making money on, and just as good of quality as they have now. I don't really see where the price comes from. I don't get it. Like these 4, I feel like are the only super unique shades, and then again, like the chroma crystals is just like a unique formula. But god, I can't really say this is worth it just because $129, that's super expensive. But I feel like her formula is worth it, so maybe if it's like a unique color scheme that you're really into, or even if you're just really into this, I don't know, it's got to be like a personal thing, honestly. But $129, I feel like you can get most of these colors in other palettes, so I can't really say it's worth it, even though I really like the palette. So I don't know. Let me know what you think, if you think this palette is worth it or not, or if any Natasha Denona palettes are really worth the price. And I will see you in my next video.